Sit, talk to me, damn it, or else I'm gonna throw you in the fire!
You stupid bitch! You filthy... Flyover state of fear.
Welcome back to Flyover State of Fear with your host Joe, and I got Brian. How are you, Brian?
What's up, man? I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. Can't complain. Uh,
The dream.
the dream got. You know what? I just got the new. Not new. Have you bought anything from Umbrella? The Australian like DVD provider. You've definitely
I don't
seen them.
think so.
Beautiful, beautiful packaging. They do like,
Yeah,
you know,
I think
the
I've seen some stuff that I was like, ooh, and that was like Region 2. I was like, oh,
yeah, they're
shit.
region free typically, which is nice. But
That's good.
I got Hell House LLC. They're the only ones who put Hell House LLC on physical, but they put all
Mhm.
like four. They put all. I think there's five now, but they had four out. One of the nicest box sets I've ever got. Like from its
Nice.
packaging to each individual, comes with like a thick like book that has all the stuff, and what's that? A lenticular
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
thing, yeah, and a lenticular cover on the box. It was I mean
Damn, that is nice.
beautiful. It's on the hardware.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was
That
like I got
rips.
some coupons, so I was like under $100 with shipping. I was like from Australia, great. But
That's rad. Absolutely. That's awesome.
how about shoes?
Well, I haven't. I do actually. It's funny. The inspiration for this episode was last week we talked about, or last episode we talked about some Hammer horrors that I bought a little pack. I actually am in waiting. I found another one. It was 20 movies. It's from a. It's not from one of the best. It's like one of like those Mill Creek. But I
Hmm.
looked online to make sure the packaging wasn't the stupid little slip covers. It's got
Yeah,
real
we.
Blu-ray packaging. But 20 movies, and like I got it on sale for like $40.
Oh, that's great.
Incredible deal. But it hasn't come in yet.
Hmm.
So but as far as things I've been watching, I did want to say I got out to the theater for the first time, I think since Predator Badlands, which is a long
It
time
was a
for
long
me.
time for you.
Yeah, I usually like to go to the theater way more than that. And we're getting into my hot season. Spring, summer's my hot season, but
Mhm.
we went and saw The Bride.
How was it?
Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride, and you know, I wanted to, much like GDT's Frankenstein late last year. I went in wanting to love it. I came out good, not great, a little messy.
Yeah,
Some
the
incredible stuff in it though, like and definitely like you can tell how much Maggie loved the project and how much she put into it, and how much like she comes through in it.
because
And
the
Jesse
big
Buckley, Oscar nominee Jesse Buckley, who's probably gonna be Oscar winner.
well
Jesse Buckley
the big
crushing.
the big like thing that like the general takeaway of it is
Mhm.
like, oh, this is just a lot of big swings, and that's like it's
Yeah,
poor criticism. Um, it's funny the Jesse Buckley thing to me. It's like, oh, if that was timed up like a few weeks earlier, she could have had an Eddie Murphy situation
oh yeah, I know. I would have hated to see it
where they're
hit
like, why'd you lose?
botch
Where
because it's
why'd you
gonna
lose?
bomb. I think it's bombing pretty
Yeah,
hard.
and she's getting bad review. Like it's like if you read the reviews, it's like, and once again, I didn't see it. It's like,
I can see people like thinking it's too much, like her
yeah.
performance is over the top, because there's an element, not to spoil anything, but there's an element of like kind of like possession. So she's
Mm,
doing some like switching back and forth
sure.
between voices, and I could see people being like, this is a bit much, but I definitely can tell how much Maggie Gyllenhaal liked what she was seeing. You know what I
Sure.
mean? Like in the performance.
No, I
And I
just
like that she had a small movie. She like, her first movie got some Oscar buzz, and Jesse Buckley starred in that too. And I like that she was like, Hollywood was like, what do you want to do? She wanted to do this, and she called in Christian Bale, she called in Jesse Buckley, she got her brother in it, she got her husband in it. She's like, I'm getting the fucking band together and I'm gonna make my dream project, which is like the Bride of Frankenstein via the Joker. Like,
I do love I do like that's such a fun ass uh blank check like project
yeah,
Like, sure, because you know she,
This is definitely her blank check movie after The Lost Daughter got
yeah,
like a bunch of Oscar noms and
yeah, you
stuff.
know she had her choice of projects, and she said, Bride of Frankenstein. You guys were gonna make it in the
And
other.
there's stuff in this one. There's like nods to the original 30s one. There's nods to Young Frankenstein. There's just a lot of there's just a lot in it, and it's messy, but it's not bad. It's just
Hmm.
it, I could see it becoming. It's gonna be some fucking goth teens' favorite goddamn movie. You know what I mean? Like they are gonna love it.
Oh,
There's
well,
gonna be some
that's.
people.
I mean,
This is
that's
gonna
what
be
it
their
looked
Lisa
like,
Frankenstein or whatever it was. You know what I mean? This
which
is gonna be
was like, which.
I think this is better than that by a wide margin. By the
Lisa
way,
I mean, that to me has always been, and that's the controversy. Like, not Lisa Frankenstein. I remember going, oh, maybe I should revisit it because of like how much people like that I
Mhm.
respect were like, it's actually really good. I'm like, oh, okay. But then, like, that now I'm just on my Lisa Frankenstein because I was gonna say, then like it's a Diablo Cody thing, and
Yeah,
then like that's how like Jennifer's body is like the biggest thing to that group today,
yeah,
and like that like topic like girl like and guy group,
sure.
and that's the one where I'm like, I've watched it several times. I think it's fun, but I just do not connect with it. This is groundbreaking piece of film that you guys are like deserves a Criterion.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, everybody's got their
Yeah,
whatever their
I
fave.
mean,
You know what I mean?
to be fair
And this
respect,
will be somebody's too. And I, like I said, I didn't hate it or anything. But I can definitely see why it's be divisive and why it's not gonna be. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be a lot of people's favorite. But that's okay. I will always have Kenneth Branagh's 1994 Mary Shelley's Frankenstein to cling to as my preferred Frankenstein movie.
Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro's dick and balls.
Yeah, so like I feel like that's important when you talk about that. You say Kenneth Branagh, no, it's Robert De Niro's Frankenstein.
It's fair. It's fair.
That's so fun. I love that era too because when we covered Wolf, we talked about it how it was just like early '90s of like we should do the Universal monsters again, but they were just like that of like the Bram Stoker's Dracula to Wolf to
Yeah,
uh
Mary
you know
Shelley, Frankenstein.
Mary
It's
Shelley's
all yeah, they're all
Frankenstein.
definitely in the same. Interview with the Vampire is in
Oh,
there
I would say
for
that's probably
sure.
more like. And I guess that goes in cycles because then you have the terrible mid 2000s trash of like I Frankenstein
Yeah.
and I'm sure
Well,
there's
that
an
was also that was like you had Underworld, and
Underworld.
then you had Twilight. So like post that, they're like they've been trying to make Frankenstein work. I mean, this is a tangent, but like you talked about I Frankenstein. People forget that they did that one, the Max Landis one with Daniel Radcliffe and
I don't know what
shit,
you're
what's
talking.
his name?
Oh, I do know Victor Frankenstein.
Yeah, Victor Frankenstein. It had
Yeah.
Professor X in it. Young Professor
Yeah,
X.
there was one it's not really Frankenstein, but it kind of is of that. And I saw the How Does This Get Made of it. Like I went to the live taping of Beastly.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
I don't remember the lead actor guy, but it's trying
That's
to
like
be
a
twi
Beauty and the Beast thing, right?
but
Kind of.
it's very Frank. It's Beauty and the Beast, but
Frankenstein too. Yeah.
it's Beauty and the Beast for sure. But it's trying to do like Frankenstein, Beauty and the Beast, and that, and like be Twilight.
Oh yeah,
Like a lot
obviously.
of things at
Oh,
the
remember
time.
they did like Red Riding Hood Twilight. They
Oh
did
yeah,
so many. They did Snow White Twilight. Basically, they did the Kristen Stewart ones.
oh yeah. And that wasn't a
Those weren't bad. I
that
used to
was
stand up.
bad.
The Huntsman, Snow White and the Huntsman movies are better than the Hobbit movies. Like
Similar comparison, sure.
I'm gonna say it. I'll say it.
Let's say
Anyway, let's
controversial.
get to talking about what we came here to
Yeah,
talk
what are
about
we
today.
talking about today, Brian? This is
Well, as I already mentioned last week, I was talking about watching through my Hammer horror box set that I got, and just how much fun it is to kind of revisit what horror was kind of before the 70s, like before the kind of rebirth of horror in like the mid 70s. What was kind of scaring people in the 50s and 60s, what kind of stuff was doing, and so we decided, and that's an era we haven't really done very much of on this show, and a type of movie. Even when we've done stuff older, it hasn't been something like this. This Hammer horror is kind of a unique. They were like a studio in England, and they kind of were like a singular kind of powerhouse in horror at the time. They got their big start. doing stuff kind of like what we're covering today with remaking basically the Universal classics and like the monsters that were in the public
Yeah,
domain and everything.
it's and I mean this is like what my brain goes to when you think of like Technicolor,
Yeah. Yeah,
you know.
absolutely. Yeah. And also they always are thought of Hammer horror, but they also did, suspense movies, pirate movies, romances, mysteries.
Oh,
They were a big studio. They were putting out a lot of stuff.
I'm sure. I mean, like during this watch, I was like, just even like looking at Peter Cushing's filmography, and it's really, the way actors were back then. It's just like, oh, I'm sure go to this movie, go to this movie. You're working on this, you're
Yeah.
doing this. Like
Well, and like you forget too that back then people would get contracted with
that's what I'm
studios, and
talking
you
about.
would
It
do
looked
like
like
all their pictures or you would be on for like however many of their
and those
pictures and whatever.
studios that contract those things, like you said, like they didn't just make like, oh, we only do musicals, so you're contracted to doing a dozen musicals. It's like you're doing a dozen musicals, and you're going to do five dramas and four comedies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
And that you mentioned Peter Cushing, and that's part of the reason I chose the horror of Dracula, or sometimes just known as Dracula. I think
so I was going to
on
ask that.
Letterboxd, it's just Dracula.
I
I
watched.
think
So I
that might
watched.
have been for the American release,
I
or
watched it on Tubi.
and it was called the horror of
It's
Dracula.
horror Dracula, but then you look it up, and even its Wikipedia, which listeners know I always have to the left of me. It just says Dracula, 1958 Dracula, and
Yeah,
it
1958.
threw me
Yeah,
off.
I don't know. Again, like I think maybe that was a distribution thing. It's just like either flip or flop. One place it was either called just Dracula here or over there, and vice versa for the other
That's
name,
that's gonna be my rom-com, just Dracula.
just Dracula. I'm always. I can't lie. It's corny, but like when I have to go get blood drawn, I can't help but think of the Scrubs. The Doctor Acula. Like,
Oh,
I'm going.
I'm
Oh
not
no,
familiar
no.
with Scrubs.
Yeah, they just always that was like a joke that he was writing a script about a
Uh,
doctor, and it was Doctor Acula.
so I thought you were gonna say the Forgetting Sarah Marshall, the puppet play.
Actually, that is a great part of Forgetting Sarah Marshall, though. To be
Yeah,
fair,
and I
I do. That
die,
movie's
die,
okay,
die.
but I do love that puppet play.
I like that movie a lot. Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
a
yeah. I guess I haven't seen it in a long time.
it it
Um,
it
it was pretty. I do remember it being pretty good, though.
but it's yeah, the Dracula musical. I thought so we were going with it anyway.
I do like no, that's a good place. I easily could have good
But
Dracula movie.
you expand on that a little bit though. So this is first time really watching
Mhm.
a Hammer horror. This one, the amount of familiarity I had with it because of its place and even its story beats in pop culture,
Yeah,
were like, oh yeah, yeah, I kind of know what's going on. I know what the scene is. Yeah, yeah, he's
yeah.
coming to like that's.
Well, and I did kind of pick this one again, partly for that reason. It's actually not one that's on either of the box sets I bought,
I
but
know.
I picked it because it's like obviously a story we're more familiar with. It's Dracula, and they did a lot of sequels: The Brides of Dracula, The Son of Dracula, Dracula Kills, all sorts of stuff like that. So I wanted to just start with what their first Dracula movie was.
Okay.
It's got the cast: Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, even Michael Gow's in here. Come on, you love seeing Michael Gow, right?
I love
That's
Alfred.
that's fucking Alfred, baby. Um, he and but also it's what was one of Hammer's like biggest hits, first big hits, really kind of like broke them out, got them their attention.
Sure,
So it's kind of like one of the ones that built their rep.
I mean, like it moved. I know it's only 80 minutes or something.
Mhm.
It moves. I mean, it's not it's just scene after scene of like
And it's
movement.
funny, but it never feels rushed. Like it starts off with Jonathan Harker, which again, much like in the 30s movie, they kind of mix around with and play with the names. They always seem to want to make Lucy the fiance and instead of Mina, and like they do that in the 30s one too. And I just never understood why, and then eventually you get to Bram Stoker's like, it's fine to just call her Mina, just do Mina. I don't know. But you start off with him coming to the castle, and they do take time. I think they just like the look of their sets. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? He
There's
walks
time.
around a little bit and like, creeps about and checks things out. And like you said, it moves, but there's still atmosphere. There's still like tension.
Well, so that's what I
There's
more
still time
felt
for
with.
that stuff.
That's what I more felt like when I say it moves in the sense of like it, it's not a slowness like an older movie. Like I'm watching him going, oh no, no, there's another blood sucking There's another vampiric reveal. Oh no, Van
Yeah.
Helsing's crashing out. Like, that's what I was more getting at. Like, but the
No,
atmosphere
no,
is
I
there.
no, I know exactly what you mean, but I just wanted to make sure. Like, I do think for it's paced well for a fast moving shorter film. You know what I mean? With
Yeah,
under
it
90.
that was other than its look. That was like a surprise to me.
What did you
Um,
think about the look? How'd you enjoy the kind of like gothic 50s, like
I
50s
love.
interpretation of goth? Because it's definitely like set
Well, it
like in
looks
the
like a
50s,
set.
where they have a great little scene where Van Helsing is recording himself on wax cylinder, which I thought was fun, you
Yeah,
know.
I I like the look a lot. There's something very like familiar about it. No pun intended.
I
Uh,
think it feels kind of like a stage play a little bit too, you know. It's
that
got that.
you're taking all my notes. I would say
Oh,
like
sorry,
because of
sorry.
its no, no, and that's the way a lot of these older stories are because of its cast size and like we're really in like four-ish kind of locations barely. It feels like a play,
Yeah,
and that's not a dig at it. I I liked I don't know, like I liked it, but these things I'm never gonna find the movie because I don't. It's only a vague memory. These remind me of the movies that used to play on AMC's Fear Fest
yeah,
back in like the early 2000s and nine. Like it used to just be these like big bright Technicolor movies of like big red like carpets and robes and like this like
yeah,
lighting. And like I said, I just have like memory of these images, but not actual specifics of movies, but I'd watch them. And that was the feeling all I could think about during this movie is like there's like
yeah.
a nostalgic thing that I have no nostalgia for.
Yeah, that's fair. I understand that. Yeah, they definitely have like their very like individualistic look. You know what I mean? They
hmm
all kind of have that same vibe
And
to them.
I really like love like I mean, obviously these movies I assume Britain's the same way have to fit a code at that time. So
Yeah,
I do love its way of like, the cutaways in the back and you see the bits of blood and like the way that stuff looks was really like romantic.
yeah. Like
Um
they don't they do some violence, but it's all very much like it's very low key.
it's low
Like
key and there's like this is something I thought, oh, like I think you very much and we've talked about this before. It used to be a big topic on this show of like starter horror.
oh yeah,
And like
absolutely.
this, and like along with go back Universal
Yeah,
Monsters,
Universal monsters are great for that, I think, you
like
know.
this, I'm like, oh, like this might be a little too much to show like, the 6-year-old, but the 8-year-old,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
it's you're gonna show them, and yes, I guarantee you that kid's gonna be scared of Dracula at night, but they're not actually seeing anything where you're like, well,
Right.
it was pretty bleak for them. So
No, no, yeah,
I thought
that's
about that
absolutely. I
aspect.
agree 100%.
Like it was like, oh, I want to dive more into these like on my own or even on the show, these hammer horrors if they're like of similar ilk and like this for that
Hmm.
reason of like I like, finding these like starter horrors which then do become easy comfort things of like throw it on. No one in the room is going to be bothered by it unless you're
Yeah.
paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty safe. It's pretty safe. They're great for Halloween parties.
Yeah.
Um, so like I said, we see Harker goes to the castle. We start off we jump right in. I like they do a little bit of the journal voiceover. It kind of speaks to the like nature of the book a little bit and the letter because the book's one of those similar to Frankenstein where it's a lot of
hmm
correspondence,
hmm
letters, and
Well,
ships manifests and
I love in his VO and his correspondence of like, you know, when you're in on it, it's like you think, oh, he's just there to do the books, and then it's like, and then I'm gonna get him.
yeah, I
Like
love that's
I'm gonna
such a
get the
great
heck
reveal,
up.
and it's a thing that we can like this movie does a couple times, which uh you can tell that this movie knows that its audience is familiar not with the 31 Dracula. First of all, they know everybody knows that one. I was thinking is like there's 20 less than 30 years between uh the Bela Lugosi Dracula
Hmm.
and this one. So there's more time between Bram Stoker's Dracula, the Ford Coppola movie, and Renfield than there is between those two movies. So
But
it's like that would still be kind of like the go-to that like when people thought of Dracula, they'd be thinking of Bela Lugosi at the time.
well, I could imagine the Twitter of the
Oh, talking
50s
about
was
remaking the classic, they would be
like,
up in arms. They'd be
what do you mean it's gonna be in color? What do you mean we're
well,
remaking
I'll tell you one
Dracula?
thing that's a fucking improvement, and I'll get out in front of it right now. Christopher Lee cuts an incredible figure as Dracula. That little bobblehead goblin face Bela Lugosi, he's lucky he had magic powers because if not, I'd grab him by the cape and Hulk smash him back and forth. Little manlet try to stick his fingers out at me. I'll punt him out the window.
I
I'm the
that's
this is Sparta that motherfucker right out the door.
and then I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. And there's one guy in 1950s Twitter going, well, nothing holds a candle to the Nosferatu. They'll never touch that.
Yeah, somebody's like the Max Shrek heads are out there, like the
Yeah.
Count Orlok heads.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, I do think like it's funny watching this too that when they say Dracula a lot, like the
yeah,
word Dracula, and it's like I do get where like if someone I think it's a bit in a modern movie where they call him Dracula, like oh a bunch of Draculas out there, like not vampires.
yeah, like that's how they refer to vampires. They call them Draculas.
Yeah, and maybe it's in What We Do in the Shadows or something. It's somewhere.
Yeah, I definitely have. I know what you're talking about. There's
It's
definitely somewhere that does it.
and maybe go like I kind of get it. I kind of want to start calling them Draculas because that's just vampires.
It is fun.
This is what it felt like when they're like, and Dracula's out there. I'm like, oh, that's just a name. That's like being like, and Brian's out there. But no,
Yeah, I love it. It's like, oh no, wait. I mean, that's just his normal name to us.
yeah.
Let's see here. We have the thing like we get the reveal that like I said that this movie like is a little ahead of the fans are kind of like expecting Jonathan to kind of be a little naive, but we find out immediately that he's actually there to kill
It was
Dracula.
great. I thought that was a
That's a
great
great little,
reveal.
and the movie does that kind of thing a couple more times too. Like, not, I don't ever think ever to that extent, but there's a few times where like they don't let you get ahead of them. They're like, no, 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 we're in control of the narrative
Mhm.
here. You're not
Well,
jumping the
all
line.
the, I mean, like jumping ahead myself, like that to me was all of the female reveals.
Yeah,
Who's
right. Yeah,
turned, who's not
definitely
turned.
do it with Lucy and Mina. They have the kind of same.
Yeah.
Um, Dracula's out, looking around. Dracula's leaves, and Harker goes out and searches the castle, and he gets confronted. This is actually the second time by a woman saying she's a captive. Help me! I'm being held prisoner
And
here.
she's dressed a lot more revealing for the movie than I was expecting.
Yeah. This movie's real good about showing they want to show cleavage, but they also are careful to make sure that none of the nightgowns are sheer enough that like if there's light passing behind them, you don't want to see any shapes. They don't
Mm-mm.
want you to see any shapes.
Fuck
Those need to be
loose.
thick. They
But
can have the
anyway,
boobs pushed up, but they
she
want to
was
make sure the forms are like
put it this way,
flowy.
she was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's like, and
Uh,
of course Harker's gonna be like, yeah, I'll help you out.
Right. And I love how she can't hold it together for like 30 seconds to like, she's immediately like, oh, yes, yes, help me.
And like, yeah, and then that was the one like head scratching. Maybe I'm not too familiar with like Dracula and vampire. And Jackie's like, that's enough of that. You don't get that.
Yeah, he does. Well, there's a thing in the book where like like brides, and they do it in Bram Stoker too, where there's like some women who kind of come after Jonathan, and he comes in and kind of a, like he's mine, get away kind of
Hmm.
vibe.
That's what it was. Yeah,
Yeah, I do love the way Christopher Lee enters. Again, talking about
iconic.
compared to Bela Lugosi, he comes in through the window and like clears this table in like one stride because he's huge. He's like this giant monster, and the way he like kind of slurks and he like walks one long step and he's like over the table and into the room. It's really good. I like it a lot. And yeah, he breaks him up, but it's too late. Harker's already
Oh,
bit.
he's bit
Um,
and put laid for his turning.
Yeah, but he writes his last little note. He like knows he's gonna turn, but he decides he's still gonna try to finish his mission. He goes downstairs, and then um I love too that he's like searching for the he's like, I must find Dracula's resting place. Very easily he finds Dracula's resting place. It's like it's just a basement with an outside door.
Oh,
It's
it's
not like hidden in any way.
no, no. It's that's why it's like some of the movies. I mean, some of like a theater set in a sense. It's pretty like oh,
Yeah,
it's there, and then like same with his And once again, I guess we're bringing modern sensibilities to this, but like your ending of like Dracula's coffin, and it's so tiny, it's so much tinier than you're expecting it to be. The little white, it's like a tiny
yeah. It
white
doesn't look like it would
coffin,
fit Christopher Lee at all.
and it's
Actually,
just like his body, like from
I
here
like
up.
that it's white. I like that it's
It's clean.
fancy. You know that it's
Yeah.
clean, but it
Well,
does
that
not look. It's not. It's not impressive.
well, Christopher Lee is definitely I believe this is an antiquated term, but I'm going to use it anyway. A metrosexual Dracula.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. He's a handsome lad. You know, he looks
You know,
good.
he's very
He's.
put together. He knows how to work an iron.
Mhm. Yeah. His suit and
No.
his cape is always very well kept.
That was another note I have. The suits in this movie, I'm like, where do I get those?
Yeah,
They're all
Both
nice.
Peter Cushing and Michael Gow both looking very sharp in
Yeah,
this
and they're
one.
all. I think it was yeah. I literally had that caught note of like, oh, Peter Cushing's that suit's real nice.
Yeah,
I wear that.
man, Peter Cushing's awesome, but man, has a sharper face ever existed in this world? Like that man's face has more points.
I think that's why you know it was gonna come up in this episode. I couldn't help but think of that terrible Rogue One, like AI, not
The
AI, but like the
CGI, like
CGI,
yeah,
like
the
a bringing to life one because and like at that time that was like, well, they didn't do a bad job. I couldn't help but think of this one going, it's such a distinct face. What made you think that's the
yeah,
one we should
that's the one
do?
you could copy. Like it's so individualistic. It's like you can't. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, he enters the movie. We see him do the kind of he has the kind of interaction that we usually think Jonathan Harker has, where he shows up at the tavern and kind of talks to the locals a little bit.
Hmm.
Impresses them with his kind of knowledge of what's he can like. He's doing a little Sherlock Holmes, where he's like, "I see you have garlic up here. I deduce that there's vampires
They
about."
do
You
a
know?
really nice job with that as well as like relaying the audience out of like these are what vampires don't like. The garlic,
Yeah,
the cross, the
yeah. They do some lore drops later where he's like, "No shape shifting, none of that. Turning to fog, turning to bats, none of that."
Mhm.
I did want to say I missed the part that I think is so funny, and it's just like obviously it's because the movie needed to keep going, but also at the same time it just felt very misogynistic, which is where when Jonathan Harker does find Dracula's resting place and him and the bride are both there, he has this chance to get the drop on either one of them, and he chooses her, and it just feels very petty of like you bit me, and then of course she screams and wakes up Dracula and he gets fully taken and fully churned, and like you had the drop on both of them and you didn't choose to stake Dracula first. Like your whole mission of coming here was to kill Dracula, and in the last minute you're literally at the goal line and you got distracted because this bitch hurt your feelings because she bit you on the neck and made you sad.
It's crazy. It makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think it it's fine. It's just because you can't have Dracula drop out of the movie, so you can't have him be killed there. But it makes even less sense than like having Dracula wake up at the last minute and grab his hand and stop him or whatever. It's just silly. It's like why would you do that? That was your whole mission. But anyway, sorry, Van Helsing. He has a little meeting, meets the townsfolk at the tavern, but then he basically immediately goes up to the castle. As he's getting to the castle, he sees a carriage taking a white coffin away. He looks around a little bit and immediately finds resting place. Also, like doesn't have to struggle. There's not even like a secret bookcase you have to turn or anything. It's literally like you go outside to the side door and the side door leads to the basement and the basement's where the coffin is and that's it. Um
He's efficient. He's an
yeah,
efficient Dracula.
but he
He's
gets
like they'll
there and
never find.
he
They'll never
finds the
find me.
resting place. He sees the girl's dead body who's now an old crone. Once she
Hmm.
got stabbed, she's not pretty, she's old now. And then when he looks in Dracula's coffin, who's there? Not Dracula. It's Jonathan Harker, fully turned with and then again, I think we get like he goes to stake him and then fade to black. And I actually was like, did he kill him? Is there gonna be a
Well, he goes
comeback
to
for Harker
stake him,
later?
and then who's the right? The guy he brings with him?
He
Doesn't
doesn't
he?
bring anybody, he doesn't have anybody with him at that time, does he?
No,
It's
no,
later.
I'm not thinking of later.
Yeah.
Sorry, sorry.
It's later he's got Michael Gow with him when they're like doing they're
Yeah,
investigating together.
I got
But
my
this is when he's at
confused.
Dracula's castle and it's just him. And he kind of goes to stake Harker, but we don't really see it. And I actually was like wondering if he was going to pop back up later, but he doesn't. He stays dead.
No, he's
So
dead. I think it's just editing of the. Like I said,
yeah, it's just probably a thing to cut some blood, so they could probably so they could do a couple stakings later, which they do.
but he gets to go
Let's
back for to tell his fiance.
yeah, this is where Michael Gow comes into the movie. He plays Lucy's brother, and then Mina is his wife. So we're still
Hmm.
using all the names, but we're just mixing around who's what. Um, they tell him Van Helsing tells them that Harker died, but not how, and they don't tell Lucy that he's dead at all. And we're like, oh, they're keeping Lucy in the dark, innocent Lucy, but they leave, and immediately this is another one where they jump the line and they like trick. We think like, oh, he's gonna show up and like seduce her. We realize immediately she's like a willing participant. She's opening windows. She's like getting herself all sexy,
Come in.
like she's ready.
Absolutely.
She's been having it.
She hasn't seen Salem's Lot.
No, no. The whole plot of the last voyage of the Demeter happened and she missed it. I always like to think about it now in every Dracula movie I watch. I'm like, okay, now here's the point. I pause this movie, watch the
Yeah, man.
entirety of the last voyage of the Demeter, and then pick it back up when he lands on when the boat gets to shore.
And it works for every one of them.
Really does. It
I love
really
how
does.
I love how it
Um,
worked. It worked even more perfectly for the Nosferatu of last year because there is this scene like it has that
yeah.
darkness and the same modern like lighting-ish. So it's like oh he gets on the boat. I literally could pause it and just watch what happens. And he kind of doesn't look like the same, but
But they're
it's
but monstrous enough. They're
it's
both
more of
kind
a
of like
monster.
monstery versions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I did want to note we talked already about him doing his little talking into the wax cylinder, but he mentions he connects vampirism to addiction, which I
Mm.
don't know if that's a first thing in this movie, but man, is that a metaphor that so many artsy like student films have grabbed onto? And there's at least a couple of there's one with Tom Hiddleston and Tilda Swinton from a few years back. That's like a vampire movie, but it's actually about being addicted to heroin. And then
Oh
there's one
yeah.
called The Hunger, I think, with Lily Collins.
Yes. There's
And
I mean that is yeah.
but like I'm just saying, like I don't know if this is the first movie to like tie addiction in with the Dracula with the vampire mythos.
Maybe.
But
I
it's definitely
mean,
there, and I was like, hey, the good for them. They're on it, like
I
they got their
mean,
sensibilities right.
the 50s and all like they were still people were still putting like symbolisms and stuff and
Oh
thematics in
yeah,
films
that's the thing. I never want to discount how smart they might have been. You know what I mean? Like you never know how with
like it
it or how on it they
if not
were.
even maybe for the better there wasn't a hundred think pieces about like how this is groundbreaking.
Yeah, yeah. They didn't need to be. They didn't need to be patted on the back. They just put. That's like I'll tell you what. This is a little sidebar, but that's one of the reasons, man. I really love watching Friedkin movies from the '70s and stuff because like he just does not hold your hand at all.
Oh.
It's like you have to watch this movie and you have to figure out what's going on yourself. And I'm not going to tell you. You
I
just have to watch these scenes and piece it together. It probably took me 2 or 3 watches of Sorcerer to kind of figure out what all was going on at the
oh it
beginning and
took
how all the
me
guys show up down in South
it
America and where they're all from and what their deal is. Like,
Sorcerer took me a couple watches just to like get through it and then
right.
like
Just to
I've
be
now
like,
watched
how did, like, I love the stuff with the trucks, obviously, all awesome. And like the production of that is incredible. But like, as far as the story, when I remember being like, what the hell are they
oh yeah
showing me here
and now
exactly?
like since that first watch which took a couple watches I have now
Yeah.
watched it about 3 times
Yeah.
where I'm like no no I know
I
what
mean,
I'm getting
it's an
into.
amazing movie. I love it.
No my rant was going to be a lot more mean. My sidebar about like saying not holding your hand in this. That's why I find it so I don't know if you have these conversations with people, but I feel like it's a common thing. Not even people that much younger, but a little of like so many people be like, "Oh, you gotta watch this like this cartoon, this kids movie. It just reflects real life. It just like the thematics and how I care." And you know, ever had that conversation where someone's like,
Yeah, yeah,
"You bring it,"
absolutely.
and you're like, "Yeah, that's every. It's they're good, but like it's not better than like the adult, like the thing made for
Right,
adult
you
where I
can
have
watch
to
a
think."
grown-up version of that. That exists too.
like 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 I just have that conversation, and I think this is my like I think that's why shit like, and I get this for kids but it's still the same shit like that like anime has boomed in like all audiences
Yeah.
because there's overarching of like, oh, there's like heavy layered themat where it's easy to not easy but grasp the
Right, it's
concept.
presented in a simplified manner. It's like there's depth to it, but it's presented in a more simplified manner.
And you could feel easily. So people go, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm overstepping
No,
on
I
that,
think that's absolutely fair. I
but
think
I've
it's
like
100%.
thought about it going,
I mean, let's not even get into stuff like Netflix shows that are basically purposely structured because they know you're looking at your phone half the time.
oh
So
yeah,
every
no,
every half an hour, the characters stop to remind you what the plot
that's
is. You
like
know?
that's like you ever meet. Oh, that's a whole different. But that thing of like, I don't even know where we're going with this. I know we're talking about Dracula, but like that thing of
That's
like
all right. This is a
you
fun podcast. I like it.
you you know you meet someone and they're like really into like a kids television show and they're trying to tell you it's like better than The Sopranos,
Right,
you know,
right,
or you
yeah.
know, and you're like, well, yeah, no, I get it.
Actually, the new DuckTales is really deep. You
Yeah, you're
know?
like, no, I get it. They covered some like deep. It's yeah, it's about addiction, you know, like, but like,
Yeah.
it it's still trying to sell, you know, shit to your 5-year-old.
Right, exactly. It's still mostly here to sell toys.
Anyway, that's that. I'm gonna end it. That's no, but I do I
Yeah, like I'm sorry, I'm just not going to be able to respect you if your favorite show is Steven Universe. Okay, that's just not going to
that's more what
happen.
I'm getting.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I'm getting at. I know what you mean.
I'm really into Ben 10. Okay.
Like I love Adventure Time. I'm sure you do.
That's another one where people look at you like, no, no, I get it. Like moments happen, but like,
You know what? If you, I'll tell you what. Graduate to Venture Brothers at least, and then maybe we can talk.
no, I'm just a dirty guy. I'm going to super jail. Oh, talk about a show that's like, they got away with that.
Yeah, it was a different time
It
10 years ago.
it was 2009.
It was a
Obama was
different time,
president.
not a time when we shouldn't have known better. We definitely should have known better.
That's always my favorite. This is just this off the road. That's always my favorite thing of people talk about. Like, I guess when I was in high school
Yeah,
or even middle school, where they're like, "Oh, back then," I'm like, it wasn't. It was still frowned upon,
right.
other than a few words that people don't use today. Those
Well,
things
right.
still
People
were.
act like we didn't know that the Man Show was classless at the time.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. That's a good like where I'm always, people talk about it. I go, yeah. I don't know. It's not 1984.
right, right. Like we were well
We were
into the
we were talking earlier in the movie. This has nothing to do with that, but the movie Soul Man came up, and I was
sure.
like, no, 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 like that got a lot of backlash at its time. Like it wasn't accepted as like this is the movie. They just comfortably made it to
Yeah.
the point where like today even or
They
back
made
when
it not expecting backlash. Now, if they
yeah.
made it, it would be like specifically to court
One of my
backlash.
favorite things about that is James Earl Jones is in that movie,
Of course.
and I think like recently, give or take, that's 15, 20 years, he was like, I saw nothing wrong with it. I still don't. And it was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, James. Anyway,
Wow. Hey, all right.
but no, I always find that funny of like, you talk about even, yeah, like 20 years ago, 10 years ago, which is 2000, like 7, you know,
Yeah.
9. I'm like, no, they knew it was, other than a few things, like,
Yeah.
it was still like not okay. So
Yeah.
it's funny because it's
We were aware. We were aware.
like things progressed. They progressed naturally. And yeah, things are bleak. And then I can just get which things are bleak. Uh,
Yeah.
anyway,
You know, things are bleak. Things are looking pretty bleak for Lucy.
thank you.
She's being treated for anemia. There's a doctor treating for anemia, but the doctor suggests they get a second opinion, which that's not good. That doesn't inspire confidence, you know?
Mm-mm. Well, those at-home doctors, you know.
Yeah, yeah. But she goes to Mina goes to meet with Van Helsing. Basically, she under the guise of like picking up Jonathan's things, but really to get his opinion, get that second opinion. And I like he really goes like once she kind of comes clean about what's going on and like the bite and her the anemia. He goes kind of Winston Wolfe for a minute from Pulp Fiction, right? He's like, you need to
Mhm.
set up the room like this. You need
That's
to
what it
do this. You
reminded
need to
me.
follow my instructions exactly. And I was like, ooh, look out for
What
Peter
kind of
Cushing.
Oh, that's a great comparison. What kind of doctor do you think? Like, did he go to medical school?
I think he's supposed to be a medical doc. Van Helsing's supposed to be a
Is
medical
he?
doctor.
I wasn't sure if it's like we call him doctor because
No,
he's
I think he actually is, but I think he's supposed to be like a quack. Like, definitely, like if you watch the Bram Stoker's Dracula, he's like a disgraced quack, kind of. Is
yeah, I
like,
mean they
you
did
know,
the same
and he's
thing.
similar. He was similar in the Nosferatu.
That's why I would say the that was like that movie shined when Willem Dafoe was on screen.
Oh, so good. He's incredible.
Did we
The
we
William
covered that?
the Robert Eggers Willem Dafoe team up is
Did we
so
cover?
tight.
I'm an idiot. Did we cover that at that time? I think we did.
Did we do? We might have.
We've talked about plenty
We
of
talk
these.
about all the movies. We love movies.
Anyway, no, it is a great scene. It's like I said, there's like a modernness to the thing of like him talking and like there's like life in like all of these scenes when like you watch. I was gonna say a movie from the 60s, but like 50s, like
Yeah,
to like my naive modern dumb brain, sometimes these movies don't move, like don't have life and move and like things
sure.
like that where you're like it's like the Winston Wolfe scene, like yeah, I see it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. He has that kind of energy, that intensity. But of course, the dumb fucking housekeeper doesn't follow his instructions and takes out all the garlic, and so Dracula gets to Lucy, and Lucy is dead. Strong air quotes on dead. Van Helsing comes clean with Arthur Homewood and Mina, and actually gives them like, of course they're not going to believe him. They're like, you're a fucking quack. But he's like, here's Harker's last words. He wrote this journal entry, in his own, this is him or whatever, and that kind of confirms it. Also, we hadn't mentioned they introduced a little bit ago, little Tanya, and I just have a note here. Will this movie have the guts to turn little Tanya into a vampire? They never do. I thought they were going to get
No.
there. I thought they were going to get there. They got close. They do have, because Tanya comes in and says she was attacked. And in this movie, if somebody says they were attacked, they've usually already been turned. They're usually already bit.
Yeah.
But Tanya never is. She gets used as bait a little bit. She gets drug around a little bit, but she never actually gets turned. Little kid vampires are a classic. You know what I mean? It's very disturbing. We love to see it. I actually
I
just watched a little offshoot here. If I can recommend a vampire movie that's on Shutter right now. From it's a couple years old. It's a French movie. It's called The Vourdelac.
Ooh, no, I don't.
Um, so it's a French like kind of aristocrat is traveling through the countryside, and he comes upon this Romani family, and the patriarch of their family has gone off
Oh, that
to fight in a war, and when he comes back, he is not a person anymore. And the gimmick here is the Vourdelac is basically a puppet. It's like this really cool looking kind of Count Orlok style puppet,
yeah, I
but it
might
like
have to look at
talks
it.
and it's a character in the movie. It's never like played for laughs or anything. It's very and the movie is very much of a legitimate horror film, and it's really
That's
it's got some comedy elements to it. It's got some dark humor in it, but
uh
it's quite good. And I've
no
watched
that
it. This was actually the second time I watched it. It's
and
good.
and the Vordelok is supposed to be a puppet, right?
I mean, the Vordelak is like in the movie. It's supposed to be a creature,
Oh, it is supposed to be a creature in the movie.
but is played by a puppet.
No, it's intriguing looking. I'm
It's yeah.
intrigued.
I would highly recommend it, especially if you're like in the an experimental horror person. You love to see new
It's
stuff.
very like Tales from the Crypt looking.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
And
something
like I said,
it's
the Vordelak, the puppet is very cool.
yeah.
It's the facial articulation is good. It's very creepy. The voice they give it is very, very scary and stuff. And like I said, despite what could be done in the wrong hands come off a little comedic. I think it's done very well.
This is why they pay you the big bucks.
If you come to watch our House of Dracula, you're going to get a sweet recommendation from
This is why I pay you more than I pay myself.
That's right. Well, we make so much money off this podcast. There's a lot to go around.
Yeah, I mean, all that Checkers CEO money I'm banking in. All right.
So I like when little Tanya comes in to tell everybody that she was attacked by Lucy's corpse. The first thing Mina's like is now don't be a crybaby. It's like, bitch, I just got attacked by a vampire.
You think she'd be lying about that?
Yeah, that's fucked up. They go to investigate Lucy's tomb. Of course, it's empty. They intercept Lucy. She's got Tanya. She like lures Tanya again, and she's like bringing her back. She's gonna eat her, but they save little Tanya, and we get to see there's a cool crucifix burn. Really good.
I thought that looked awesome.
Very Salem's Lot. You know what I mean? You mentioned it earlier, but
right on it,
right on the forehead, looking good. I noted, I was like, they stake Lucy, but I don't know if Van Helsing, does he know where the heart is? It looked like he was going for her liver. Too low. They're too low. Real low. You got to get right up here. Your heart's right up here.
It's not like in the middle of.
Yeah, it kind of sits kind of in the left of your chest, here. It kind of starts in the middle and points to the left. It's right here.
I thought
left side.
That had to have just been where the effect worked.
Where the effect was, right. And also maybe they didn't want to do a boob stab on her,
Where do a bit.
But I did notice that. I was like, that seems you're a little low, guy. If you're gonna do that, you need to angle up, come up under the ribs. Show that you're doing the, show me something.
Well, it's just a modern, it's in every vampire thing anywhere with the stake. They all stab through skin so easily. They've never figured out where it's that probably wouldn't work the first time.
Punch, you really got to punch through skin. It's not easy. Yeah,
it's very always went right through, dust, dead.
A little hot knife through butter, baby.
And what that is from there to, as you said earlier, Renfield. Talk about a movie that was underrated.
I did a rewatch on that recently, and it's fun.
It's fun.
It's a fun little.
It's silly.
It probably could have used to have someone other than Awkwafina in it.
She's
not bad in the movie. I just think she's got a little stink on her these days.
She does, and she kind of always has. But I disliked her so much when I first saw her in Neighbors 2.
Mm-hmm.
She played the bad comedic relief in a comedy movie, doing the Awkwafina accent. And then slowly over the years, because of that, I was like, okay, I actually don't mind you as much. To where now I'm I don't mind her. I've watched her.
No, she's not a bad actress, and she's not bad in the movie. I just feel maybe.
There's stank. There's stank.
You could have probably put someone else in there and maybe got a little bit better.
Yeah, but that's a fun. Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
I was saying
this is a really good vampire movie podcast because we keep recommending other vampire movies.
Yeah.
We're not just talking about this. Why don't more people watch this show?
Maybe we should promote it or something, or
that seems like a lot of work.
Yeah,
we can't even manage to put the show onto YouTube sometimes, let alone promote the thing.
There's how people clip things and you could just have this conversation talking with the very TikTok look to it.
Yeah.
There's apps that just do that for you. And I've just haven't put the effort in.
No, and I can't. I'm too old.
I'm
you got to do it before you start having kids, and then you're not gonna have time anymore.
I'm a step above lazy, but I'm not I'm but below motivated.
I don't know. Maybe you get motivated by Checkers. Maybe you need to post a.
Well, the funny thing is that account was Flyover State of Fear. It said my name and then Flyover because I was going to use it, and sometimes I do post horror from it. And now I'm do I? Because TikTok's you can't change your name for 7 days. So I'm I am for a minimum 7 days the CEO of Checkers.
CEO now for at least 7 days. Give me my money, Checkers.
Yeah, give me.
So they're trying to figure out, where Dracula's hiding at. They thought he might be at Lucy's tomb. He's not. They bribe a clerk at a pass like a roadside, what do you call it, like a toll station kind of,
Hmm.
to figure out when Dracula's casket came through and where they got taken. And they do get this address, but at the same time, while they're out of the house, a boy comes and tells Mina that her husband that Arthur sent for her, and that she needs to go there, and she goes to the place where they are eventually, like the thing they just got from the address they just got from the clerk guy is the same place that she gets summoned to by
Mm.
Dracula. um but by the time they get there, she's gone, and so is Dracula. But she goes there, she sees the white casket and all that. But when they get there, it's all gone. And then when they see Mina again, I love she's got the coat all pulled up. She's like, "Nope, don't worry about seeing my neck. You don't need to see my neck for anything. Nothing suspicious about my neck, though.
Nope.
Don't
Nope.
ask about my neck."
Nope. I,
Um,
I, it's another thing, and I know this probably definitely not definitely was 100% taken from this movie is like the bite holes, like for the most part, like have always, if they need to be simplistic, look like that, where they're just like two little bumps.
yeah,
Like,
with a
my,
little trickle of blood coming out of them.
yeah, like my favorite, I think I might have made you watch it before. It's my all-time favorite Are You Afraid of the Dark episode. It's Tale of the Night Shift, and it's
Yeah,
a
I've seen that
vampire
one.
story.
Yeah,
And it's legit like how they pass this from the book because it's like a green like goth, like the vampire's a green goth guy with like red bleeding eyes, but all the people's bites look like that with the bumps.
yeah.
They're very vivid. But the concept of it is a vampire in a hospital feasting off of not blood packets, like the the whole
Patience.
staff. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's fucking it's great.
it's a good one. It's a
But
good one.
it's I think it was actually the last episode of the original run ever. But
Well, while we're doing, since we've been doing so much good recommendation
yeah,
of
it still
vampire
holds
movies,
up.
I will also throw out that you might think Hammer Studios as a long forgotten and old timey, possibly dead, but no, they actually put out one of the best vampire movies of the last 15 years and an incredible remake. They did Let Me In. That was like their big comeback movie,
Wait,
like
wait, they did?
the Matt Reeves movie. Yep, that's a Hammer horror
Wait,
because they
really?
Hammer Studio kind of like came back and was like, we're gonna do movies and we're gonna start. And I don't know if it ever like progressed beyond that, but they definitely produced this same Hammer Studio
Let Me In,
linearly
the
uh
remake.
produced the remake, the Matt Reeves version.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It's an excellent remake and it's an excellent vampire movie.
Wow, that is we're just dropping heat.
This is a good show.
Yeah, right there, Hammer Films. Yeah, oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my god. So we're
This
actually, we're getting pretty close to the finale here.
hmm
They're doing this is classic Dracula stuff, given a blood transfusion, but nobody knows about blood types. So just
Wait,
like
I'm
go
sorry.
nuts on putting blood in each other.
I'm sorry. Doing classic Dracula stuff sounds just like like what his buddies say when he's like picking up a lady at the bar. Oh, he's just doing
Oh,
classic
it's
Dracula
classic Dracula stuff
stuff.
over there. Oh boy, here he goes.
Sorry, sorry.
Just our boy, classic Dracula.
Yeah.
Um, they have a big they find out that the coffin that he's been in the house. That's how he's been getting access to Mina. That's how he's been when they leave. He's actually they find his coffin in their basement at their
Hmm.
house, and that's where you see the cute white coffin. It's adorable.
It's so like oh hey anyway he peeks
It
out.
doesn't look like it would fit Christopher Lee. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you see tall ass lanky Christopher Lee. I feel like he would have to be like pulling his knees up to get in that thing.
They probably did the
It
way.
looks it's so small it could have been Bela Lugosi's. Um, so we have a cool coach chase, and I like they're following Dracula, and he's like basically the way they're following him is following a trail of dead coachmen that keep falling off his coach.
Uh,
um,
who
they
does
chase
your
him back.
pod? Who does
Was
your
it?
pod? I was gonna say, who does your podcast have beef with? Oh, Bella Lugosi. Yeah, no,
Bela,
we fucking
I'm trying to I think he's got like a great granddaughter or somebody who's like a fascist in Italy now.
all right. Well,
So
fight
yeah, we can
us,
get into this. We can do this thing.
fight us,
Yeah,
Bella,
bring it
Bella,
on.
Bella
Whatever, Bela
Lugosi,
Lugosi's fascist niece or
Bella
whatever.
Lugosi the ninth. Come
Yeah.
on. All right. Sorry. Go.
Why
Continue.
don't you fight me like your granddad fought heroin addiction?
Flyover of Fear, the number one anti-Bella Lugosi podcast.
Just being a dick for no reason, just absolutely no reason
Man,
for
why are
it.
you picking this? He's an icon. No, he's
Yeah,
not.
no, fuck him. That's why. This little bobble goblin head. I don't believe it.
Now, Boris Karloff, he's the man.
Yeah, Boris Karloff should have fucking tombstone pile driver him through the set, choke slam his ass through a plywood coffin. Um,
The
so
Monster Squad Dracula, better.
another great thing about movies from this era, and is that like when you get to the end of a movie, it's literally the end of the
Yeah.
movie. They have their cool coach chase. We get there. We have our final big confrontation, our Dracula boss fight.
It's a
It's
tussle.
actually a pretty good fight.
Yeah.
They have like a real battle. And
Yeah.
then I love the kind of his desperation dive to open the curtains. He like leaps off the table and grabs them and like rips them down. And we get some fun effects on Dracula's die. Like I like how he dies in like pieces,
Yeah.
like
The
his hands
ash
in the sun, and it gets like shriveled, and
and the
he doesn't get
crucifix
killed all at once.
fades.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a fun
Um,
sequence, man.
yeah, I think it's a good finale. Like I said, you get a cool legit fight with Dracula, which is fun, and then you get a cool death scene, and cool vampire death is what you got to end with. That's the whole deal. And then there's the kind of a question is like I don't know if the movie's asking it, but I'm asking it. Are we sure that like Mina isn't cured? Like he's hugging her at the end, but they never established that like, oh, if you kill the head vampire, everybody turns back.
I took that as a yeah, just the way they were hugging and the way it bookends, especially like the lights coming in.
Yeah, I guess they're in the sun and
It's
everything.
it's also like it's still in that time when like movies for the most part are like they're gonna end happy, even if we want our
Mhm.
dark ending. Like my mind goes to like very different regions of filmmaking and all that. Mine goes to like when we talk about Night of the Hunter, how it's like
Yeah.
they want the dark ending, but they like legally have to give you this nice ending.
Yeah, they kind of can't pull the trigger on it. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And I think this is one where it's like, I mean, this is pulp, right? This is a pulp tale,
Oh
like,
yeah.
and tantalizing and blood. But I think it being so well lit and he's dead, I think you're just like, Mina's gonna live a nice life and they're gonna be fine and
Yeah.
on to the next Dracula.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
Um, yeah, dude, this was a great pick. It was generally really fun to do, like a
Yeah, it's fun to do something
different,
different and kind of like,
a
mix it
different
up.
thing of a different time that also wasn't just like. I mean, we don't always do it, but like, oh yeah, it was another run, and like you were talking earlier, like, it's a metaphor. They're trying to do a thing. Like we kind of just did like
Yeah.
the last few movies we talked about have been those where it's like it was a
Mhm.
metaphor for addiction.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the Hellraiser's got that. And then I would say there's definitely a lot of themes, upper
Good
capital T
boy,
themes in Wrong Turn,
yeah.
also.
And
So
it's nice to change, but they've all been positive, but it's nice to change it up.
yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
And like I said, I've been having a lot of fun revisiting these. So if you're not, if you're watching this and you've never watched much Hammer horror, there's a lot of there's so many. You know what I mean?
thi- this made me go, oh
Like feel
man,
free to dig
like
through, but
I I want to watch more Hammer horror now from now on, but I also know when so far from now, but when September rolls around and we're really spooking it up as most of us
yeah.
do, I'm like, I'll throw in a Hammer in there once in a while. We'll really get those, like I said, like a thing I'm nostalgic for, or
Yeah. Well, because they
a
just have that kind
nostalgia,
of generally spooky, gothicy kind of
yeah,
vibe
a
to them,
thing, a
They feel
thing,
like a Halloween haunted house,
a, exactly a thing, or in a Halloween haunted house that you attended as a kid but not as an adult.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, watching this made me nostalgic for a thing that I have no nostalgia for.
Yeah.
And when that happens infrequently, it's really nice. If
That is
you
nice.
you know how we're all obsessed with our nostalgia and we're all just man children, me and you and everyone else. And I
You
think
know,
when
that's really great. Don't let me forget. There's something you just reminded me of something.
oh, I was just gonna say, I think
Go ahead.
when we're not chasing it and it just happens, it's when it like really ignites and hits. But when you're like consistently chasing it, like I like myself, like blah, 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 I watch Are You for the Dark frequently, and this, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, that doesn't actually hit the way it does when you don't watch it for 10
Well, it's
months.
easier to get kind of more acclimated to it, and then to have something that
And
like hits the feel, give you a little bit more of that
and
original
that's
juice, you
and
know?
that's what this first watch weirdly had a feeling of. So
Yeah,
compliment
absolutely,
there.
absolutely. I just wanted to say before we bail out, this was a great episode, and we've been doing a lot of good recommendations. And I already dropped a recommendation on Shutter. And since you're talking about nostalgia, there's a great documentary called Spooktacular about the first ever haunted, like basically haunted attraction.
Hmm.
It started as like a haunted hayride, and they added buildings and
Oh
stuff.
shit,
But if
I
you're
want to
into
watch
that
that.
sort of thing, or you like attraction haunts, or you like, just like kind of it's surprising to me. It opened in the like 1991, and I was like, really? There were no haunted houses
Like
kind of
pay to
until
go,
the
like not like
yeah,
boardwalk
but
haunted.
no, like this is kind of it was kind of first of its kind. There wasn't really
You sure? I know
yeah,
you said.
well, I mean, I'm sure there were haunted attractions, but this was the first one to kind of like take it to the level
Okay,
of
that's
what
what
we would
we're.
consider a modern haunted house. You know what I mean? But anyway, it's called Spooktacular. It's a lot of fun. It's also on Shutter. So if you're over there watching the Vortilac and you get too creeped out, you can take a break and watch something a little more
Mhm.
just fun nostalgia. If you're a spooky season person, it's a perfect thing for you. There's a lot of
Awesome.
they had like horror celebrities there and stuff, so there's a lot of people on the dock that you'll recognize. It's just a lot of fun.
Definitely take that rec. All right, I loved it. I got nothing else to add. I'm sure.
No, man,
Sure.
another great episode. Put
Yeah.
it in the books. Bam.
Bam. We'll see you next time. Bye. Stay frightful.
We
Bye.
love you.